Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. You're now tuned to CFRE 91.9 FM. It is your man, DM Cool. You're now tuned into Cool Radio. Welcome back to the show, people. I still got my homegirl, Isys Alexis, in the building.
Hey.
You already know what it is. And you guys already know what time it is. It is time for Trip Talk. That's right, people. 3 topics in 3 minutes. We'll try and zoom through as much as we can, but these ones are a heavy dosage of as I like to call controversy. So, with that being said, let's start off with something light, okay? And speaking of lights, the light skin war rages on between Chris Brown and Drake as they are in a war of words lately throughout the past week. Now, it started off with Tyga, another former light skin member, and, and Chris Brown at Hot 97, and basically they were talking about Drake. And Tyga just kind of went the politically correct route and says, oh, you know, I don't really mess with dude like that, yada, yada, yada. Chris Brown elected to say something of the same magnitude. But then on, I think it was The Breakfast Club, he went on to say, oh, who's Rihanna going to end up dating after me? Some light-skinned guy who sings and raps? So obviously, we know he's talking about Drake. And that came on the heels of her dating Leonardo DiCaprio, and of course, there's no way to go where, you know, but up from there. But anyways, Drake retorted by changing a line in one of the songs. I believe it was the song Energy, in which he said, I gotta act like I like certain R&B guys, or something to that extent. So, my thing about this beef, quote unquote, if you want to call it that, is that it's absolutely pointless. Because really, these guys are bickering over a girl that neither one of them is dating anymore. So why still go on like little catties in like Rexdale talking about, yo, I'm better. No, like, you guys did it last year. Just keep it at that. Isys, what's your take on this?
It must be for publicity. I'm just laughing right now. You said it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, publicity, sure, you can't chalk it up to that, but Drake just came out with a surprise album, and Chris Brown actually just came out with an album as well, too. So it's like, they're big enough stars that they don't have to do this. Like, this is so petty in high school. Like, I'm sorry, like, I've been known to be the biggest Rihanna hater, and I'm gonna say it right now, she's no one to fight over. Like, if the next man said, yo, I'm dating Rihanna, I'd be like, hey, good night and good luck. Like, best of luck to you. Make sure she doesn't put voodoo in your potion or whatever. Like, I don't want no part in that. Like, that's a mess waiting to happen. So, those guys are better off bickering with each other, but honestly, I still think it's pointless. Like, they're both successful. Keep it at that. Count your money. You guys are going through your own issues. Drake, you're trying to get out of your deal cash money. Chris Brown, you're trying to get out of your probation. Like, you guys have bigger things to worry about. But hey, that's none of my business. I'm just saying. But let's move on, shall we? So later on, actually, there was some more stuff happening within the news of entertainment, and this came by way of the Oscars. Now, Common and John Legend performed their song Glory for the movie Selma, and they won an Oscar for Best Original Song for a movie. Afterwards, they went on stage to say their thank yous and what have you, and then John Legend made a very enlightening statement. Well, not enlightening, yes, in a negative way, if you want to take it as that, but he basically said that there are more black men incarcerated in prison than there were black slaves in 1850. Now, mind you, we're Canadian and everything, but nonetheless, the historical context of slavery still runs deep into today, even in Canada. And when you hear a statement like that, it's like, have we really come far, or are we regressing? I mean, Isys, when you hear a statement like that, what comes to your mind?
Oh, the race thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's complicated.
Yes.
I'm at the point where I don't even like to divide people by race.
Yes.
So the fact that he even said, oh, there's this many black people incarcerated, but why are we counting race still? Mm-hmm. Why is there still that segregation? I think that's where we haven't come very far.
Mm-hmm. And I totally agree 100% as well, too. But I feel like because there's so many instances of racism that still continue to this day, I feel like it's still a nagging issue. It may not be as overt as it was, let's say, in like 1960s, where people were getting hosed down by police officers for voting, but nonetheless, it still exists systemically, like within the workforce. People judging you and not giving you a job based on the ethnic background of your name, for example. Just so many things in between, which is why I still think it's an issue. But to hear a statement like that, it's really disheartening.
You know, we just need to work on ourselves.
We do.
Because there's also a similar quote where there's more, you know, black people murdered by black people than
exactly.
ever were by KKK in, like, I'm not sure if this is correct, maybe like a couple months.
Yeah.
We kill more of ourselves in a couple months than the KKK has killed in their whole forever.
In their entire, like,
yeah,
history
exactly.
or career, whatever you want to call it. No, it's very disheartening. I agree, man. So I just feel like people, we do need to work on ourselves. And I think even Kendrick Lamar touched on that subtly in his new song, The Black of the Berry. So, again, it's another, you know, food for thought moment, so to speak. Another thing that happened in the news this week, Kanye West. Now, this guy is no stranger to ranting on stage for whether he wins an award or loses an award. And the funny thing is, when he wins an award, he has very little to say. I figured that'd be the best time to say as much as you can say as possible. But anyways, once again, that's none of my business. Drink some tea while we're at it. Now, anyways, he went on stage to accept the Visionary Award for his line of sneakers that he has with Adidas. So I guess that makes you a visionary now. Okay, whatever. Anyways, so he went on to have yet another speech, but he dived more deeply into interracial dating in particular. And he went on to say that certain things such as, you know, why we're still divided by race, why can't we just be the human race? You know, so basically kind of alluding to what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
And then he talked about a story that Kim Kardashian's father went through when he was defending O.J. Simpson, and basically he had someone spray N-word lover on his car basically because he was defending O.J. in the case. So, you know, for me, when I hear Kanye make a speech like that and talk about why we're all segregated, yes, I do agree that we still are segregated nonetheless. I just feel like when it comes to Kanye, I don't know whether to be gung-ho with him, be on his side, because you never know when he's going to say something stupid like Beck doesn't deserve Album of the Year or something like that, right? So, Isys, when it comes to Kanye, like what's your take on this?
Kanye, first of all, a lot of people agree with what you're saying. He says crazy stuff.
A lot of the time, I feel like I know what he's thinking. It's just coming out wrong.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
I agree with a lot of his, what I can only suspect are his thoughts. So, and I really like the speech, actually, that he gave. Because that's how I see people, like I just mentioned. Homo sapiens. There's no subcategory where, you know, you're black or you're white. That's just, it's silly.
Exactly.
I mean, there is culture, but that's different. Culture is not race.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that, by the way, because that's the biggest misconception of life. But anyways, continue on.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, I like what he said, and I like what he says a lot of the time. I just think he says it maybe slightly wrong.
Everything he says, I feel, is just wrong, man. But
it's not what's in his head. I think there's more going on in his head that actually communicates.
But you know what? I'm not ready to fully trust Kanye just yet, because he's my guy ever since high school, and just ever since. No disrespect, but I feel like ever since his mom died, I feel like a piece of his psyche has just been lost.
And that's understandable.
It's very understandable, but at the same time, it's just like some of the things that he says or his actions I just don't agree with, man. I mean, even his latest stint at the Grammys, just bum rushing the stage, and not even bum rushing the stage, but after when he made all the statements about how Beyonce should have won and saying they should respect artistry, but you just put down another artist by bringing one up.
Was this the way back in the day thing?
No, this was actually a couple weeks ago after the Grammys, actually. Okay, long story short, Beyonce won, Beck, an artist named Beck won Album of the Year. No one had really heard the album. Very few people have heard Beck, including myself. And then Kanye went to some after-party interview and said, Beyonce should have won, you know, the Grammys needs to respect us more. We're not fit to play with them no more. He said it in the most Beverly Hills accent you can think of. We're not about to play with them no more, guys. No more. I cut the malarkey. And then, he just went on about how Beyonce should have won and how Beck should have given his award to Beyonce and that he needs to respect artistry. But he just disrespected another artist.
He's a passionate guy about his opinion. Way back in the day when he interrupted
George Bush? Or
Swift.
Oh, Swift, yeah.
I totally agreed with that. Like, he did it wrong. He shouldn't have done it. But I agree with what he was thinking, maybe not what was executed. That goes back to how he doesn't execute his thoughts appropriately.
Exactly. And my thing is, don't get mad at the artist, get mad at the committee. Taylor Swift had nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? And neither did Beck. So he's getting mad at the wrong people. That's all I've said. Yeah. And then the final topic I wanted to talk about, actually, is woman or an actress by the name of Patricia Arquette. Now, she won an award, and basically she used her platform to spread awareness about equality between men and women in the workforce. And she was saying how women still aren't getting paid equally as men. So she made her speech about that, and everyone was just, you know, like cheering her on, hooting and hollering, and rightfully so, because it's still a thing that exists to this day. But then the statements that she made at, again, like Kanye, in an after press party, it kind of didn't go over people's heads, but at the same time, it strikes an ire towards people, black people specifically. She said, every male that loves a woman, everyone in the gay community, and everyone of every person of color should get behind this movement right now, basically. That's what she said. So when she said that, everyone just kind of like, just like lost their minds or whatever. When I first read it, I was like, like I know what she's saying, but it kind of came out wrong, and a lot of people misconstrued it, and a lot of people were under the impression that, hey, black people and colored people and also gay people, we've helped you out a couple of times, trying to help us out. I think that's the way people read it, but I think what she was trying to say is that, you know, us as minorities in general, injustice in general, you know, we should help each other out. Like, just like how white people were helping out black people during the civil rights era, or how, you know, heterosexual couples were helping out gay couples with the whole gay marriage movement. We should just help each other out, basically. I think that's what she was trying to get across. Yeah. What's your take on that?
Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for equal rights, obviously. But with the whole women being paid less in the workforce,
yes,
you can't ask to be paid more and then expect a man to pay for everything that you guys do. If I go on a date with a man, he's usually expected to pay. If you're going to demand to be paid the same as said man, then split the bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm done. This is damn cool. Thank you for listening. That's all I need to go. Go on, keep going.
No, I said what I needed to say. Women want men to be gentlemen, and it can't be done if, you know, you're making all this money, but, you know, you're not spending it on your man.
Talk to the people. Keep talking. Keep going. I even need to get into the next segment. Keep going. Just.
No.
Oh my god! Like, you hit the nail on the head right there. Like, you can't. And I have a conversation with my boys and some of my homegirls about this as well too. Like, if you can't demand equality, but then, you know, only reap the benefits of equality. Like, you gotta take it all in stride.
Exactly. Like, he has to stand up for you. He has to hold the door for you. He has to do this. But then you're asking for it. That's not equality.
It's not equality. That's a juxtaposition of equality. That's something else. That's inequality.
And because I like the things that gentlemen do, I'm not gonna ask for, you know, equal. I don't want to say equal pay. I mean fair pay. If you're working hard and you feel like you deserve a raise, that's something you handle the situation as a situation, not as the gender as a whole. Exactly. And you can't use your gender as an advantage. As an excuse. You do a certain amount of work, and you should be paid accordingly. Exactly. If you feel like you're not getting paid deservingly, then either quit or ask for a raise. There you go. And that's it. There you go.